Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, after the disastrous dumpster fire that was The Acolyte and the continued decline of all the Star Wars series' ratings over and over and over, series after series, over and over time, this new rumor should probably come not as a shock to you in any way, shape, or form. Disney itself, Disney Star Wars, is bracing for another disastrous dumpster fire with Ahsoka Season 2 because they plan on making sure to give it a good ending, a very conclusive ending, because they are in no way, shape, or form betting on a Season 3 ever coming to fruition. And boys and girls, considering the state of Kathleen Kennedy's Disney Star Wars, it's exactly what they deserve, boys and girls. So we've got this lovely little article over from CosmicBook.news from our dear sweet Matt McGloin. Star Wars Ahsoka facing cancellation claims rumors. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it might be DOA before Season 2 even premieres because of the disastrous dumpster fire that Disney Star Wars currently finds itself in, and you can lay that squarely at the feet of Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, and every other little sycophant psychopath that's completely and totally destroyed the legacy of George Lucas and, of course, the beautiful fandom that so many of us Star Wars fans happen to actually enjoy. And guess what? They're getting exactly what they deserve. They have wasted hundreds of millions of dollars. They have lost billions of dollars in market cap over what they have decided to turn. They tried to turn Star Wars into a girls brand, and it absolutely blew up in their faces because guess what? Star Wars has always been and always will be for everybody. And guess what? Girls like strong male characters too. They don't like your garbage DEI nonsense, Kathleen Kennedy, and that's why it sounds like this rumor is absolutely lined up with the fact that Ahsoka Season 3 will be DOA before Season 2 even comes out. So we're going to check out this article from Matt McGloin over at CosmicBook.news, but before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Would it surprise you at all that they were going to launch this second season, do it all the way through, and then completely and cancel it right out the get-go just like they did with The Acolyte? Or do you think there's actually some hope for Ahsoka Season 2 and the ratings might actually get better, even though it goes completely and totally against all of the historical trends that we have seen on Disney Plus when it comes to Star Wars as of late? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from CosmicBook.news, a new Star Wars rumor claims that the Ahsoka might be facing cancellation, possibly related to and similar to the cancellation of The Acolyte, i.e. being canceled before the series actually even premiered. Ahsoka Season 2 is currently in development, but in regards to the third season, if the following rumor is true, Disney might not be holding its breath. And why should they at this point? Every new Disney Star Wars product that they have put on their streaming service has gotten worse and worse as the ratings have gone on. Regarding Ahsoka, what is being said about the series actually ties into what happened with The Acolyte, which ended with a cliffhanger teasing Darth Plagueis and Yoda, as well as Amanda Steinberg and Manny Jacinto's characters sailing off into the sunset. According to Scooper Daniel RPK, Disney doesn't want to end Ahsoka Season 2 on a similar cliffhanger. And one of the things out there is Daniel RPK, I do believe he has actual legitimate Hollywood insiders. What it ends up coming down to, though, with Daniel RPK is the fact that we also believe he's one of those guys that Disney will intentionally leak things to because they know he's going to put it out there to the public. He knows that we're all going to report on it, and that way they can gauge the fan reaction based on all of those kind of reports out there. And honestly, as somebody who actually did sit through all of Ahsoka Season 1, boys and girls, it's like one of those situations where, trust me, I think the majority of the Star Wars fan base would be much happier with you guys just canning all of this, mothballing it for a while, and not touching it until there's all brand new employees like a generation later, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, that's the state of current Disney Star Wars, and after all, they did it to themselves. It's claimed Disney is making sure Ahsoka Season 2 will have a satisfying ending in case Ahsoka gets canceled and doesn't get a Season 3, which is probably more than likely. Disney giving Ahsoka a satisfying ending with Season 2 and possibly planning on the series being canceled could mean they are hoping for Season 2 to be all they aren't hoping for Season 2 to be all that successful. The first season wasn't exactly a rating success, contrary to all of the kind of propaganda that Disney tried to be put out there about, oh, it was such a raging success and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, right? Because we can call out the BS, we can call out the nonsense, we can compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges. We can actually go and look at the numbers when they come out on the rating systems like Samba and Nelson and go, hey, guess what? No, that actually is a disastrous dumpster fire, no matter how much you tried to lie to your own investors. Because shows like The Acolyte, Ahsoka, and Boba Fett are all on the lower side of the Star Wars ratings, 400s, while the more successful shows are watched by double the amount of fans. The Mandalorian episodes and Obi-Wan tend to be average in the 800s. And obviously obviously, even with Mandalorian season 3, we saw that as a drastic decline from season 1 and season 2. These series continue to keep getting worse. And after the disastrous dumpster fire and all the backlash from the Obi-Wan series, there is no way in hell they are going to go forward with a season 2 unless Ian McGregor completely can pull off a miracle and actually get to do exactly what he wants in this series instead of just being all wham and power forward and making Obi-Wan look like a complete and total fool and completely and totally breaking all of Star Wars' canon out there, because guess what? Nobody at Disney Lucasfilm gives two craps about Star Wars canon. So at the end of the day, this is still just a rumor. This comes from Daniel RPK. He's been a very reliable source in the past. But at the exact same time, if you look at the history of what the Walt Disney Company has done with the Star Wars brand and Lucasfilm and under Kathleen Kennedy's tutelage over and over and over again, this lines up with exactly what we've heard in the past. It's lined up with exactly what we saw with what happened with Agatha all along over in the Marvel series, where they knew it was only going to be a one-off season because they knew it. They expected it to be really bad. It was the same thing over there with Marvel and what they did with Echo. Anybody heard about that recently? No, you haven't heard a thing about Echo in a while, especially out of Echo. And at the end of the day, you've also seen what happened with The Acolyte. Literally a month after it was out there, it's already released in the trade magazines. We're talking the mainstream trade magazines. This wasn't a rumor from Daniel RPK. This was literally from the Hollywood, Deadline, all of the rest of these actual quote-unquote legitimate legacy media institutions out there. They all ran with the same story, which means they believed beyond a shadow of a doubt that was absolutely true. And guess what? Disney never countermanded them. We knew that series was canceled. We knew it was a disastrous dumpster fire. And guess what? Ahsoka looks like it's facing the exact same thing, except they don't want to leave it on a cliffhanger. And hey, guess what? They'll probably even bring in some of those characters from The Acolyte just to finish them off properly too. But at the end of the day, what we really know is all finished off is Disney Star Wars. They decided to buy a $3 billion worth brand out there that was literally nothing more than a merchandise money printing machine, and decided that Kathleen Kennedy was going to be able to turn it into a girl's brand, even though nothing like this has ever worked out there in the past. Completely and totally tried to ignore everything that George Lucas wanted to see actually come from the future of the series, decided to go in their own way, and not only did they spend billions of dollars on those movies, and it absolutely blew up in their faces. We already know that The Rise of Palpatine cost them hundreds of millions of dollars because the budget for that movie ballooned north of $600 million. So even if you make $1 billion at the box office worldwide, that is not even coming even close to being a profit. It has been nothing but a disastrous dumpster fire right from the beginning of Disney Star Wars. And outside Rogue One, which is just the best of Disney Star Wars, which isn't saying much, everything outside of that, Mandalorian season 1 and 2, the majority of this has been nothing but a bunch of backlash from the fans and nothing more than disastrous dumpster fires. So do I believe this rumor is to be true, that they are prepping to have Ahsoka season 2, season 3 never come to fruition and immediately cancel it a month afterwards, just like they did with The Acolyte? Absolutely. There's no reason they would continue to burn hundreds of millions of dollars for a company that is already broke and busted like the Walt Disney Company is. That's why you see them changing their ways. That's why they have to go a different direction. But guess what? Disney Star Wars has been rotten right from the beginning, and you can't fix that without erasing all of the sequel trilogy stuff. And we know there's no way in hell you'll ever do that, because that is a blow to people's egos that even Disney Star Wars, after all the billions of dollars they've lost, can't even walk that far away.